At school, everyone wanted to know what I got for Christmas. I don't think anyone really wanted to know. They just wanted to make sure that I didn't get anything better than they did. But mostly I got what I hoped for. I was really excited when I opened the gift from my godmother. It was a box of chocolate-covered cherries. No one had ever given me a whole box of chocolates before. You can imagine my excitement. And you can bet I wasn't going to share the chocolates with anyone. You should have seen my face when I opened them. I thought I was going to cry. Instead of rows of delicious cherries, there was a row of underwear. They were nice enough. Each had a day of the week on them, but it wasn't the same. Anyway, you may think that once Christmas is over, boredom sets in, especially living in the country. The winter brings additional excitement to Brindley. We rarely got as much snow as other parts of Ontario got, but there was enough to find a hill somewhere to toboggan down. There were even some tiny ski hills if you were interested in hurling yourself down a slope. You can also make snowmen in forts, but snowball fights are the biggest athletic event. If they had an Olympic category for snowball throwing, our town would surely supply the whole team. The skill demonstrated by the boys, it is something else. The level of enthusiasm is higher with snowballs than baseball. You can have one or more people participate. You don't necessarily get in trouble for hitting someone accidentally on purpose, and there is a whole protocol involved. If you are a boy and have a snowball thrown at you by another boy, it can mean two things. One, someone hates you, or secondly, you are being attacked in friendly rivalry. If a girl throws a snowball at a boy, then people say you were forward and just asking for one thing. I don't really understand what that means. That's why I won't throw a snowball at a guy in case it means something really bad. Girls, on the other hand, only get snowballs thrown at them if a boy likes her. A boy would never throw a snowball at a girl he didn't like, and most definitely he would never throw hard enough to hurt. That was an unwritten rule that all the boys obeyed. Michelle always had snowballs being thrown at her. She would walk across the schoolyard and it was like an instant blizzard, snowballs flying all over the place. I have had other things thrown at me before. Stinky Thompson used to throw puffballs at me, and Stacy threw a golf ball at me. But I've never had a snowball thrown at me. How I longed for someone to hit me just once. I made the mistake of trying to explain this concept to my family over the Christmas holidays. Mama said, "I most certainly hope not," in a horrified tone. She grew up in Texas, so I don't think she knows what snowballs are for. Even though Grandma grew up in California where they almost never got snow, she understood. She just smiled and said, "Why, I think any boy would be honored to throw a snowball at you." She always knows how to make me feel good. So, the first day, back to school, wearing a new outfit that actually fit me and my Monday underwear, I followed the blizzard of snowballs across the yard, hoping some of Michelle's strays would hit me by mistake, dreaming that the snowballs were really meant for me. I know, pretty pathetic. But Michelle got so many thrown at her, she wouldn't miss one or two. A snowball whizzed by my face. How exciting! Another one knocked my hat off. Boy, does someone have bad aim. Another hit me in the arm. I turned to see who the lousy shot was, and there was Rodney, grinning as he scooped to form another ball. This time there was no mistaking it. It was carefully aimed right at my head. What joy! I did the mandatory scream and scuttle for protection at the school wall. I turned to the wall and covered my face with my hands. I waited patiently. I had waited my whole life for that moment. I could wait a few more seconds. Nothing happened. I was bitterly disappointed. I turned to see where he had gone, and I was instantly rewarded with a handful of ice-cold snow heading directly for my face. I let out a squeal and whipped my face back to the wall. I misjudged the distance of the wall in the excitement, and the wall met my face with a groan. My head started to swell up above my eyebrow. I felt something cold and sticky drip down my face. One of the boys came to look and immediately looked like he was going to pass out. And that was the boy who always requested the rodeo song in music class. You know, that's the song about the cowboy who fell off his horse and his horse stepped on him, leaving him in a pile of blood and guts. I felt fine. I didn't mind at all. Rodney was looking most concerned and was romantically apologizing. If I had had more experience, I might have swooned or something, but I didn't want to push my luck. A teacher took me to the nurse's station. I didn't need stitches or anything. They wanted to know who did it, but I told them it was my fault. I didn't even mention Rodney. I had a big bump that was turning the same colors as Miss Jenkins' polyester jumpsuit. I would have a hard time explaining it to my mother when I got home, but it was definitely worth it. Finally, someone threw a snowball at me.